American travelers are issued a warning after landing abroad to discover that their passports had been canceled. And so I saw somebody on TikTok, and he was warning black people who, a lot of people, not only black people, but a lot of people have been seeing all of the social divide and all the political drama and political theater that's been going on here in the US of A. And so they've been trying to find other places that if something really bad happens here, which people are looking at possibly something really bad happening here in the US, that they can escape. So this is by Lillian Gissen out of dailymail.com. So it's only a 5-minute read. Multiple Americans have claimed that they landed in different countries only to be told by immigration their passports had unknowingly been canceled. Now on TikTok, a guy, he said that some people's passports say that there's a flag alert or that it's stolen or something is wrong with their passport. It had been canceled. So one traveler, his name is Parker Anderson, he took to TikTok earlier this week to issue a dire warning to others. Now I believe that might be the one that I saw. He was basically warning people who are looking to travel and what's coming up soon. The holidays, short holiday travels, also the summer. And so it says one traveler named Parker Anderson, he took to TikTok earlier this week, and I saw that post. He was warning others after he had said he flew a whopping 24 hours to Thailand. Now, only to be told after he arrived that he would not be allowed in the country. So I saw a black guy, he was on TikTok and he was trying to encourage black people to go to this bar and lounge called Culture and to come out to Thailand and to come out to visit, and he was showing, the USA can't stop us and we can go travel and this and yada yada yada, encouraging black people to come out. But what ends up happening, warning, you could get deported that way. So you might have birthright citizenship here in the US of A, but that might be their way of deporting you. And thinking of how crazy things have been going on here in the US of A with all of the protest, a lot of people, there's a lot of fear. They're even talking about resegregation, trying to resegregate schools. They're trying to pull funding from Democratic states. There's a lot of social divide, a lot of division, and people are uncovering a lot of things that they thought were institutions they could trust in, and they now are losing trust in them because they're seeing really what these institutions are for what they really always have been. So a lot is going on, and there are a lot of things that are happening and being revealed. Then there's these constant distractions. A lot of people are being made to look at the Epstein files. A lot of stuff is happening right now, and a lot of upheaval going on in the US of A, and media censoring, people doing land grabs, money grabs for social media platforms so that they can take over and do a lot of major censorship and stuff. And then there's also a lot of lawsuits going on here in the US of A towards this administration. So there's a lot happening right now that people need to take note of. So this guy named Parker, he explained in the now viral video that customs agents said that his passport had been flagged as lost or stolen. So I said this before I even started reading this, y'all. So a lot of black people, a lot of people that if you're looking to escape away from all this craziness, you might want to be careful and check what's going on before you look elsewhere, because you might be thinking you're stepping out of the frying pan and you might end up stepping into the fire. So it says, despite the fact that he had never reported it as missing, this guy, his passport was flagged as lost or stolen. So the American system is failing you in a way that you don't even know about. He began in a clip. On December 28th, me and my girlfriend flew to Miami, Florida, Doha, Qatar, Bangkok, Thailand. Upon arrival, I go into immigration and I'm told the passport was flagged as lost or stolen in Interpol. So the only way it can be marked as lost or stolen is if you yourself marked it as lost. So you need your social security number and all of your personal information to mark it lost or stolen. So he said he didn't do that. And so there's more to this story here. So a lot of people, I saw them trying to get passports, and a lot of black people on TikTok and on Instagram and all these platforms trying to encourage each other to get passports in case things hit the fan here in US of A. Well, guess what? You might be in for a surprise. So according to the U.S. Department of the State, to report your passport lost or stolen, you must fill out a form online and mail it in person while applying for a new passport. So the form asks for the information such as your name, your birth certificate, social security card, and address, and your passport number if you know them. So if you don't have your information, you're not traveling with it with you, you're in trouble. So he went on to say, before I read all of this, he said that might be a way they kick people out the country. So, it's like you're revoking your citizenship. So you don't know what they might try to do, and this could put you in limbo somewhere. So it says, here I am about as far away from the U.S. as I could be with an invalid passport flagged by international police, Anderson continues. So he says, I am told that I am not allowed to enter the country and I'm detained until I'm back on U.S. soil. And so Anderson said that he had used his passport to book 6 international flights and took 2 of them without any problem. So this is not okay. So we spoke to the airlines, and then they said it's not their job to check our passport, he said, and he continued. So why is that not checked when getting on an international flight? So the responsibility of the airline is to ensure the safety of people getting on a flight, and that they're not even doing a full check of your passport. So how can they say that they're keeping us safe? So it says, thankfully, Anderson said that he was back home safe, but he noted that it was extremely traumatizing experience that he had. So I hope you understand just how dangerous this could be. So this was one of the most traumatizing things that had happened to him and his girlfriend. So we're financially damaged, emotionally scarred. And it says, it was horrible, a horrible experience, but we're back home and safe now. But my concern is someone a lot more vulnerable could go somewhere a lot scarier by themselves and be stuck in a situation you can't come home from. So that's the point. So upon arriving back home, Anderson said that he had begun trying to figure out how his passport was reported lost and stolen, but has not gotten any answers since then. So he said that he contacted multiple departments in the government and spent hours on the phone, but still he has no information about what happened. So I'm not making this video to complain about what happened to me, but I'm making it to spread awareness that this could happen to someone else, and you could have no idea it is going to happen until you're in that dangerous situation, he concluded. So at this point, I have no one to contact, and I'm resorting to emailing and sending letters in the mail to local and state representatives. I'm almost at a dead end and don't know what to do about it, so I am lost. I'm at a loss at this point. So another traveler named Marcy said that she went through a similar situation when she flew to New York to Rome last month. So in a video she shared this week, that she explained that, like Anderson, everything was normal when she got off her flight, and I was able to leave JFK with not a problem in the world. But I landed in Rome, and then they tell me that there's an Interpol alert on her passport, and she shared. And so they said that it was reported lost or stolen. So thankfully she had brought her birth certificate and her, after showing the birth certificate to them and proof of identity, she was let into the country. So she then went to the U.S. Embassy in Rome to get a new passport, where she was told that someone had reported hers as lost or stolen in November. So that was not me. Why would I report my passport missing, then decide to go on a trip with it a month later? She pointed out. It was not adding up. So thankfully the agent believed her story. So I had swore under oath that I was charged $165 and sent on my way with an emergency new passport. So since returning back home, she said that she too had been unsuccessful at getting answers as to why from the government this happened. So I'm still unsure if it was just an accident or someone trying to steal her identity she had. And so I don't know if it was a malicious thing or if it had if they had all my information, like her birth certificate, social security card, and whatnot. So since emergency passports are just temporary, she has since had to fork over hundreds of dollars more for a new passport. At this point, I paid $300 because the state didn't confirm that it was me. When someone filed the report saying my passport was stolen, she scathed, "The fact that a complete stranger can void and cancel my passport, I not be notified is absolutely insane," she said. So many viewers of the video were left horrified over the incidents and took to the comment section to voice concerns over this issue. So this is the third voided passport video that I have seen so far. So I'm terrified, one user wrote under Marcy's video, that this is definitely very alarming. Agreed, another. So this is so scary. So voice someone else, while a fourth person penned, "It's crazy that anyone can void any passport and that there is no way to check the status of your passport. Hold up, anyone can report a passport stolen?" So if someone I know is angry with me, they can just report my passport as stolen and it's just voided. Question, a different user. So no vetting, that is it, as if it was me who reported it. What the, you know what, I watched till the end, so I know how unlikely it is, but still, that is scary stuff. So basically, I'm trying to go as far as I can. I guess basically this is the article. So it was the 5-minute read, and this is what I saw on TikTok, and I said this also could end up hurting someone. Say, like, if you call yourself going to another country, because I heard people saying that they're trying to figure out other ways to go out of the U.S., and you have to plan that for months and months and months. If you don't know where you're going, you don't know the language, you don't know the culture out there, and you don't have a job waiting for you out there to go out there and just take a look at something and then have this to happen to you and you get stuck. And then I did hear this. I'm going to add this in there. There was a woman who she had left to go visit relatives in Belize. She went out there. She's a naturalized citizen of the U.S. She went to Belize to go visit relatives. She stayed 6 months. She came back here and they revoked her citizenship just like that. I kid you not. They told her, well, you've been there half the year, then you can't come back to the U.S. She was deported. She got deported. And she had naturalized citizenship. She had all her belongings here, all her things here, and they told her, bye, you cannot come back. And so she has gotten herself stuck out there. So if you want to play around and not believe this, you better take this serious. Start looking around, investigating what's going on, because things are hot out here right now. And citizenship is an issue out here right now. A lot is going on. Another thing I want to add, Tuesday they opened up a rent relief program. Now this is for people who are stuck here in the US and they're hiding from ICE and they know they don't have documentation and they're not citizens. So they can't go to these little jobs to make a little bit of money so that they can support their families. So they're stuck in limbo. So they're in these apartments. That's why we've been seeing here in Inglewood and LA County and all of these other little cities, Compton, Watts, and some of these others, Los Angeles City, we've been seeing for rent signs everywhere because they can't pay their rent because they can't work. Because if they go to these jobs, they raid the jobs and they bust them and they hold them in detention centers. So a lot of those families now are split up, or they're moved, or they're scattered about, or they're in hiding, and a lot of them are stuck. They can't go anywhere. They are afraid to go out, and so eventually you're going to see more homelessness happen. Recently, I think it was this week, a lot of those kids of those people went out and protested. But it's dangerous for those babies to go out there because now you're out in the open. That's why LAUSD and some of the schools, surrounding school areas in the Los Angeles County, was warning these kids, don't go off the campus because it might be unsafe. Because that's when, if you paid attention, look what they did to that 5-year-old. They deported him with his guardian. Look what they've been doing to kids. They've been deporting children, old people, people who aren't even criminals, things like that, people who are working. So when you go out there and do these demonstrations, you leave yourself vulnerable for a situation to happen, and you don't know when ICE is going to come and start yanking folks and stuff. And then if you get stuck into these detention centers, I also am hearing that people are catching hepatitis, COVID, and whatever else is out there. And we also have an epidemic of a spread of measles going around as well. And so you gotta watch yourself. But I'm seeing people were encouraging black people, oh, if you want to figure out if things get bad in the US, get a passport and go travel, go check out some of these other countries like Thailand, China, all these places. And they're putting it on social media for black people to go travel, and they want to go see it first before they make a decision. Well, you might be like one of these people right here and get yourself stuck, or maybe worse. So be careful about what you do before you do it, because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You might be getting yourself into more than what you bargained for. And so it's unfortunate, but people don't tend to pay attention to this until it's far too late.